All right, my friends, today is November the 25th. It is a couple hours into the New York session. Let's do the market outlook and plans for the week ahead. So let's go ahead and start off with the Bitcoin macro talk. So first thing that we'll go ahead and say, still playing the continuation of that main Q4 bull thesis. So at this point, we can confidently say that it worked because we traded up enough to where, we can definitely say it worked now at this point. So moving forward, what do I see next? So everyone's aware that we're currently struggling to get through 100K. My current plan is basically lining up with what I had kind of previously already talked about. We still want to continue to think about things on a quarterly basis. That's how I'm going to continue to form my macro plans. So right now, lining up with what I said, that I expected there to be some selling around the end of the year. We're not quite there yet. Got another month left, but I basically think that we're going to continue to chop around below 100K for a little while and give us something similar to what we saw over here, right? This is essentially where I think we're at. So sideways chop, going to basically build out a range that is, continuing to shift upwards. That's what I'm hoping to see. That would be one of the most bullish scenarios, right? Chopping below 100K is great for us because this is an environment where a lot of people are going to get impatient, gonna definitely bleed out from a little bit of back and forth before we ultimately smash through 100K. So that's basically where I'm at. Hey guys, just a reminder, this is the last week that Paragon's going to be running discounted rates. So if you were considering joining, now's the time. Playing off what I've said on a couple of previous streams, I think that we'll probably see continuation in Q1 of next year and then probably chop into the summertime next year, spring and summertime. So I'll definitely have a more official take on that, but I wanted to get that basic idea across to you guys clearly before other people start yapping about it. Basically where we're at in the TLDR on the macro is that everything played out, how I had hoped for mostly. We're entering into a bit of a chop, redistribution kind of stage, where we're going to see a lot of, dog shit popping off and then, some blood here and there. But I think that ultimately we'll end up, compressing and then playing out very similarly to how we broke out of this other range, right? Where we're going to see a lot of people trying to shove chips into random plays, and it's probably going to be that concentrated outperformance of Bitcoin, Solana, memes, and a couple other plays here and there, and most things getting kind of left in the dust as we smash through 100K. So a few different things to talk about on the medium time frame. One was that I really wanted to see this range that we were building hold. We had the confluence between the anchored VWAP and this single print, that this is what I was hoping was going to be support. I posted about that more than once and talked about it in outlooks and stuff. It doesn't seem that that's going to be the case. So either if this is the bottom, that means that we're going to round out here and it's going to take a while, right? Or we're going to end up trading lower and attacking probably closer to 90K. So either way it plays out, I think that we're just setting up for the next kind of big batch of of longs to ride. Apart from that, on medium time frame, there's not too much that I really care to talk about, right? I do think that we're going to continue to maybe bleed people out a little bit more. Whenever we have these kind of moves, we get to the point where everybody that underperformed is so eager to chase. And that's basically what gives us these temporary tops, right? The chasing when we're getting up into the upper 90s is just beyond extreme. Okay, that's going to be it for medium time frame. Okay, a little bit of altcoin talk. So before I get into the individual tickers, I wanted to kind of talk about this a little bit more. I already mentioned it, but we'll update it a little bit more. We just completely remastered our spaghetti suite, so if you're interested, come check it out. Throughout this entire, macro trend, I've been over and over again saying Bitcoin, Solana, memes, right? Over and over again, right? We had our moment where we played RWA and AI, and those little moments were great, but time and time again, the bids are returning to Bitcoin, Solana, and AI, right? So I really want to continue to drive home the point that that's when those things are doing well, that's actually the healthiest sign of the market. So what we noticed recently was last week was the moment where this is the first time where memes, we were kind of getting outperformed by a lot of the other baskets. And that, to me, is a worrying sign, right? So I started talking about that last week, and during the weekend I mentioned it in the group a little bit as well. And when we're watching the catch-up trade take place with the underperformers, it's not really a trade that I really like taking. A lot of people on social media are going to get really lost in the sauce of seeing all these things mark up a lot quickly and think that they're missing out on something. But really, it's just like a dog shit catch-up trade that's not worth it. And more importantly than anything is it's a warning sign that when a lot of the dog shit is playing catch up that has no, no real bid behind it, it's just getting basically carried up by, the benchmark, then that's normally a worrying sign. So I thought that I would maybe do a little bit of explanation on that, more so than I had already talked about in the group. That was where my mindset was at, right? So whenever this trend is strong, I don't expect to see, my weekly spaghetti looking like this. I expect to see Bitcoin, memes and Solana leading the pack, right? That's what, and when we look at other weeks where we're, strong, look at what we looked like in the previous week, right? Bitcoin is outperforming a lot of, the asset classes, right? And then memes are at the top. That's what we want to see it look like when things are healthy, right? This is an unhealthy week. I know I'm being a little bit of a hindsight Harry because I didn't really advise to hedge or anything. I kind of think that, going out of your way to hedge a lot right now, not really something I'm super interested in. So let's go ahead and move on. Next kind of, follow up is just going to be around alts, right? So I'm still looking at the same stuff. These Chad coins are the things that I'm positioned on. Doge is still like extremely fucking strong, but it's pretty obvious where the strength is. That's going to be it for me. Good luck out there this week. I will see you soon.